Hi guys, so today we're going to be trying out Nails by Dev gels. I have been dying to try these out for a while because anytime I see amazing nail art, whether it be on like Instagram or TikTok, they are always using Nails by Dev. I figured if this is what all the amazingly talented nail artists use, it must be good. So I am so excited, low-key hoping that all the talent comes in the gels themselves. They like radiate into me, but I guess we'll just have to see. I bought the whole collection of nail art gels, so ones in the pots, and that was all I got because just this full set of gels that I'm about to open was like $200 to $300. So that's all I'm gonna try out today. Okay, I'm done. Ooh, pretty. The whole brand aesthetic is very like 90s, early 2000s, lots of cartoons, bright colors, Y2K aesthetic, and I love it. So we got a little info thing. It says stir before use for the sweet pastels. Okay, here we are. There is so many. I feel like now, I know I've been saying for a while, like I want to get good nail art gels, and I feel like just getting the whole collection was the way to go because I have blacks and white nail art gels and maybe some random color here and there in different brands, but I wanted just one big collection from one brand. That way I had it all. Blacks, whites, pastels, neons, primaries, you know, you name it. I will now have it. So I feel like that will be so good for me because you guys know I've been trying so hard on my nail art, but I do feel like not always having the proper gels or colors sort of hinders me a little bit. Am I just making excuses for being bad at nail art? I don't know. But let's get all of these out. Why is there an ant on me? Ugh, where did that come from? Honestly, these feel so light. Like there's nothing in them. I know there's stuff in them, but just like packaging is very lightweight. Everything has such a fun name too. Let's see. Because I want to swatch these and show you guys like the inside. But oh, I hate these types. Trying to decide how I want to swatch these because there's so many. Here's to hoping I have enough swatch sticks. I think I'm gonna just try to open each one a little bit like that. That way if it accidentally falls over, it's not a huge mess. They feel very creamy. And I am swatching them on a swatch stick, but of course they are liners. So this way is not going to give like the full effect they're supposed to. But I just want to do it this way. That way we can actually see the full color. Because I feel like with the top like this, I wouldn't necessarily think it was this pastel of a color. I know that this one's in the pastel collection, but just in my head, this would be a bit of a darker green seeing the top. So let's do this. This one was Lucky Charm, by the way. This one is all that, and it has a bit of a different texture from the previous one. This one is not in that pastels collection, and this one is a bit, I would say, more like sticky. It's a very good yellow, in my opinion. And although I am opening them like this, they do have this little thing that will help seal it should you choose to take off all of that little metal sealant thing. It's really interesting how each of these feels a little different so far. This one feels more slidey than the last one and a little bit thinner. The last one was like stickier. I'm sure whatever color pigment they're putting in can change like how it feels a bit, or they might, I don't know, like alter the texture a little bit depending on the color. I don't know. Not in a bad way, by the way. It's just an observation.
You're not
So I'm finally on these last 3, but I'm out of Swatch sticks, as you can probably tell, because the last 2 were different from the rest. So these, I believe, are glitters, maybe? I don't know what this one is. But we're gonna just swatch these on top of some of the swatches we've already done, because why not? Ooh, sticky. Okay, let's see. I feel like, you know what, we'll be able to see it much better this way anyway. Ooh, pretty. Wow, that's really opaque. I was not expecting that much like payoff from this glitter. That's like almost full coverage glitter. Wow. It really looks like foiled almost. That is super cool. Look at how opaque that is. I'm impressed. Also, I was really impressed with the black and white. They were also super, super opaque, which of course we all really appreciate in a black and a white. You don't want to have to do 2 coats of those ever. And I think that one of the first ones that I swatched, maybe it was the orange or something like that, it was a little bit stringy and sticky. The rest of them were not like that. After I got past those couple, I felt like the formula was more consistent. Maybe I don't know, grab the first couple that are just slightly a little different. And in general, the formula just feels very slidey, like very slick. Like you're not gonna, trying to find the right way to describe this. I guess like get snagged almost, like if you've ever been trying to do a line on a nail with some gel and the gel kind of like weirdly runs out, or it just doesn't, I don't know, glide very well. It does not seem like it'll do that. It seems like it's gonna be very smooth, very slick. Also, this silver glitter, amazing. Even more full coverage than the gold. Okay, last, what is this? Platinum. Okay, let's see what this one is. I wonder if it's gonna be like a mirror type looking gel. Is it? Kinda. This one's definitely like a chrome, but not a mirror chrome. So here is the full collection. I feel like this is a great range of colors and shades of each color. This is definitely going to save me a bit of time for when I'm normally having to mix colors. I also noticed that they only have a minimal tacky layer. Some have a little bit more than others, but very minimal if it does have a tacky layer, which I appreciate, especially with nail art. I don't know if you guys have ever done nail art with a gel that has like a really thick tacky layer and went to rub it, and sometimes the tacky layer still holds some color and can smear it, and that's really annoying, but this seems like that's not the case with these. So we need to get into what I'm going to do today. I actually do not know. I was kind of thinking of following some of the tutorials that I've seen all these really great nail artists that use these products do, like ones from Devin themselves. I also get tagged in Ball Pit Nails videos a ton because she does so many amazing like cartoon ones and Sanrio characters. I also follow Snow Glam Official, and she does amazing nail art as well, and she uses this stuff. So I may try to follow some of their tutorials. I may do my own thing. Let's just see where it takes us today. So let's get into it. So I've decided what I'm going to do today, and it's a little bit different from what I would normally do. I feel like normally I'm gonna do like 5 different nails because I want to do as much as possible. But today I'm gonna do 2 different sets, with each set having one big like feature nail essentially, where it's going to be character nail art and then there'll be little accents on the other ones, but that one will be center of attention. So let's get to that. They're going to, on one hand, not match at all, but on the other, they'll both follow the same guidelines, so they'll match essentially. So let's get started with the base. For the base, I'm going to use my Nail Couture Maximum square nails. These are pretty long and they are also flat, which will give me the easiest surface to work on. I actually got myself a brand new bag. Look at how pretty they are, because I had pretty much actually used up all of my last set of them, shockingly. So I'm just going to size everything out now. So first I'm going to set aside my middle nails because I'm going to do those on stands today, because we all know how trying to do a complicated nail art on my finger went last time. So I'm just going to quickly prep these and pop them on, and we can finally get into the sets. I am super excited for these. I can't wait for you guys to see what I want to do. All right, we're all ready to go. I have all the nails on and my 2 on stands. So let's get started. So I tested out how I was gonna do this background earlier. So what I'm gonna do is make it like a hollow, but it's not going to be like bam silver hollow. It's more going to be in the background. So what I'm going to do is put a top coat on my nails so that we can put the hollow powder down. I'm not gonna put any color or anything down first. Essentially, the hollow is going to be our base color. I feel like that's the best way I could describe it. So I'm gonna just do that on all of the nails and then into the lamp for 30 seconds. Then I got my fun little picker tool and my hollow powder, and I'm gonna rub that in just all over. So pretty. I've missed doing some hollow, especially on just like a nice smooth tip. It looks so clean, and I'm gonna do that on every nail. So for this hand, I'm going to do an Espeon set. So I'm gonna use a purple. This is a purple jelly, and I'm gonna put this on top of the hollow. This also has like little hollow glitters in it, and it's just gonna look so pretty. I wanted that like hint of hollow, but I really wanted it to be purple. You can do like purple hollow and stuff like that, but I just feel like this little bit of subtlety with it is going to make the nail art really pop. I'm only gonna do 1 coat of this, so I'm gonna really make sure that it's all even and I don't have any areas where there's gel pulling up. Isn't that so pretty? Could die. If you're doing this and you're using a jelly that doesn't already have glitter in it, I would definitely recommend putting this out on a palette and using a brush. Normally I would not go over a powder with a gel that's not designated to go over powder, but I feel like in this case it does not really matter that much. Granted, the sparkles in this are different. I don't think a couple stray hollow pigments are gonna really make much of a difference. These are so pretty. Okay, and honestly, I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish these today. So I'm gonna top coat them. That way I don't worry about getting anything like stuck to this or ruining them or anything like that. I'm gonna try to do a thin top coat though. That way they don't get too thick, and I'm wiping down the sides before I cure them. That way they don't, you know, just look too bulky. Then I love that the underside is pretty too. These look crazy. I love them. And now I'm gonna repeat on this side, just same top coat and hollow powder, but I'm gonna change up the color because this hand is going to be a different theme. So in this set of jellies, there is a like red, but the red is a little bit more pink. I haven't actually opened this one yet in particular because you guys know I don't use red very much. I'm going out of my comfort zone a little bit today, and we're going to do more of like a red themed set because this hand is going to be themed after the Samyang buldak noodles. If you don't know what those are, they are so good. They're these Korean hot fire noodles. I think buldak technically means fire chicken, but the chicken in these noodles are artificial. I don't know if you've ever seen people do like a spicy noodle challenge. Usually it's done with these noodles, and I love them. As I've talked about a little bit, I've had a lot going on recently, but long story short, these are really easy to make and really easy to like zhuzh up and add stuff to, and I've been eating these honestly probably like 4-ish nights out of the week because they're just really easy to make and I love them, and that's what I've been having for dinner most days. So essentially I love this little mascot chicken, and that's what I'm gonna theme this set after today. So let's see if I can use this red. It's definitely more of a pink, I think. So I might want to like mix in a little bit of orange or something. I am out of Swatch sticks. This is what the one I tested earlier, but I just wanted to see what this is. Yeah, this is definitely more pink. So I'm gonna mix this a bit with the orange so we can hopefully get a little bit more of like a, you know, fiery color. Oh, that's gonna be perfect. So the color is so pretty as like a warm pink, but it's a little bit too light. I feel like if it was just darker, it would work better. So I'm gonna add some of this tiny jelly red because this is quite dark. Okay, here we are. This is perfect. So let's get started. So today I'm going to try using this base as my base. I've tried it before, not with this particular one necessarily, but normally I use a like matte top coat or even like a regular top coat just so everything goes on smoothly, but I'm gonna just try using it as a base because I think that's what most like really good nail artists do. So that's what I'm gonna do. This base is by Myth Millow. Then I'm gonna cure. So hopefully this is a good, nice base. So I do have a plan of action today for where I need to block out and then add other color details and outlines and stuff like that. I did trace what I'm basically going to be drawing in my guide and stuff from a thumbnail on YouTube about how to draw Espeon. So I will link that below. So this is what I'm gonna try to do. This sweet lilac color is going to be absolutely perfect. I don't have to mix it at all. I had to chop this really quick, just a tiny bit, because I forgot I cut them down a little bit yesterday because I felt like I wasn't gonna be able to do the whole character in like that long of a nail. I felt like there was gonna be a lot of empty space on it, but okay, I'm just gonna go straight in with this. I know I have recently been putting down like a white base, but I'm kind of hoping that these are going to be opaque enough that I don't really have to do that on every single one. There is probably going to be colors that I do have to do it, or if I'm doing like a lot of different colors, but for the most part this is just purple, so I want to try to just put this down immediately, make it less bulky, and I'm going to use a bigger brush to do that because no one likes filling in with a little itty bitty liner brush. I feel like that's looking nice so far. Definitely something that I am realizing a little bit that I think I've been making a mistake with the nail art is I've been pushing my brush down too hard, and that's been making a lot of lines. Especially when you're filling something in, it's better to just barely glide the brush with the product over opposed to like pushing down on it, if that makes sense. You know, that's different if you're like lining something a little bit, but you know, when I'm filling in, I think it's better to just kind of let the brush do the work, and I feel like that's made it more even opposed to like all the bunch of little itty bitty lines. I feel like the head so far actually pretty good. So I'm gonna cure that. I feel like I'm not sure if I would need to do a second coat. I feel like that's a pretty solid purple base. So now I'm going to do the body. I kind of have like a coffin shape put out first for where like the body and the front arms go. This is where it starts getting hard. Okay, what do we think about that? I feel like it's not bad. It might be a little long, so I think I can just shorten that. We'll just clean up that bottom a little bit. It wipes away really nicely and doesn't like trail off too much, like just that tiny bit in here, and it's all cleaned up, which I really appreciate because it sucks when you're trying to clean something up and it's almost like it's just not letting go, but not bad actually. I wanted to do like a themed Espeon set because I've been kind of distracting myself with a lot that's happened recently by working on my car, and my car is themed after Espeon. It's not like heavily decorated with Espeon, but I have like a couple little stickers and, you know, a couple little things here and there. But this hollow matches my wrap, and this will match some of the stickers, and I think it'll be really cute. So I'm gonna cure that. And then I need to add the back legs, which might end up getting cut off a little bit more than I have in my reference, but that's okay. I feel like you're still getting definitely enough of like what I have going on here. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna go tonight, but I might go to a meet, and so I would absolutely love to have my nails like on theme with my car. I think that's so fun. Okay, less legible now because I had to block out the back legs, and so we kind of lost that like coffin shape, but I'm gonna outline this today, which we'll see how that goes. If the black liner is like as easy to work with and like as opaque as everyone says it is, which it looks like it is, then hopefully I should have a way easier time with that today. But there's that. So those are the back legs, and then we basically have the little feet and the tail. This is definitely going pretty smooth so far, and you know, does that usually happen to me? No. So can we, you know, say that the products are giving me some skill? I don't know. Maybe. Okay, the tail might be kind of like a, because I didn't leave a lot of room there. I think made it a little bit bigger. I don't want to make it like unlegible, but try to maybe just like a little bit of like a curl like that, and then continue it on that side. A bit too much gel. I'm gonna redo that. And now just the little feet. So there'd be these little ones like back here. What? Nope, not quite. Okay, actually I think those should be the front feet, right? I think so. I think I messed up on that little part. I'm just kind of going off of what I thought. And my thought process for how animals sit is a little skewed because one of my dogs sits kind of like a frog. And that's all I can think of when I think of like a dog or a cat sitting. I feel like I should just restart on this whole part. This is going pretty smooth, which I'm super happy about, but I'm glad it is because I am a little bit worried about doing the chicken. And I already know that that one's gonna be substantially harder. So if this one goes smooth, hopefully that'll give me maybe a little bit more confidence going into, you know, the other one. So I have my entire base done. I think I'm gonna go over some spots that are just a little bit thin opacity wise, just so we can make sure that it like looks nice and crisp and clean. This is a, I wouldn't say thin gel, but it's also not super thick. So I don't think there's gonna be a lot of like bumps and stuff if I do a second coat. So I think that doing a second coat is gonna be more beneficial in this case than it's going to hurt how it looks. So I'm gonna do that. Now I'm gonna go in with grape soda and I'm gonna do the insides of the ears. Okay, I think that looks all right. I think I might have messed up with like making this part too wide, blocking it out, but that's okay. I feel like I can make it work. Maybe to do that, I should just pull this out because I can't like re-put jelly there. And then now for the other side, same thing. Something is I do feel like this gel does go a long way. I have not re-dipped my brush yet with this dark purple. I may also have to come back and like touch up some areas once I do a liner, but I feel like just blocking out colors like this is easier for me to do. I'm gonna grab, oops, I did it again now. And I'm gonna do the red jewel on the forehead because that is pretty much smack dab in the center of the head. So I feel like that will guide me a little bit for the eyes. Okay, straight smack dab in the center. Is that good? I think that's good. I think. I'm gonna just cure it. Should I cure it? Oh my gosh. Okay, I can already tell it's gonna look a little stretched. This is not a perfect circle. I can already tell. But I think that's a pretty good place for it. My ratios definitely are a little bit off on the ears now looking at that. I feel like it's so hard because when you're working on like a skinny surface, it's hard not to also draw whatever you're drawing skinny. I can't avoid it any longer though. Let's do the outline. Ooh, I'm scared. This is where it could go really downhill. Okay, outline now. We'll start on the head. Okay, looks okay to me. And just know that like if I get a good line, it's going straight in my lamp, but I just have my lamp over here kind of like pointed towards the wall so I don't accidentally cure any gel. Okay, that looks like a nice line, doesn't it? Let's try to continue the rest of the circle though. Okay, so far I am liking this black. Some of these lines are looking very thick, but I would rather the outline be like thick and be smooth than be like skinnier and wobbly. Cleaning up a black liner though, as always, not my fave thing to do, especially when they're very pigmented. I feel like it makes it really hard. Not too bad though. Not much bleeding going on. Oh, this is definitely more of an oval. Dang. Let's do the body now. No, the ears. Let's finish up. Oh my gosh. I just realized why it doesn't look right. No. I've made a great mistake. I wasn't supposed to outline that part of the ear. Wonder if I can fix that. Wait, did I fix it? I did. Oh my gosh. I do have to say that pastel color being able to cover the black is very impressive. Of course it is a bit thick over it, but not even that much. Wow, that was so good. I think that since it can cover that a little bit, I'm gonna touch up this black line a little so it's not so thick and make the face a little bit more circular. All right, I do feel a little bit better knowing that while I'm outlining, I can go back and clean up some areas without it looking absolutely awful. I've tried to touch up areas like that a ton in my nail art drawing and it's always really hard, but I feel like that was really easy and I definitely wasn't expecting that coming from a pastel color, so I'm really happy with that. Also, this black is very, very smooth. It is very easy to work with so far. I feel like it is living up to the hype. Okay, outline pretty much done. I feel like it actually looks pretty good. Again, outline's a little thick, but I don't think it looks bad, although the hardest part for sure is going to be the eyes now. I think especially because definitely my, ratio is a little bit off on things. I think that might be too like diagonal. We'll see. Let's try the other side before I just that one might be okay. No, 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 no. So something that I learned on this one that I think I'm going to do for the next one is I think that in between the color blocking layer and my outline layer, I'm going to put another base coat to just even everything out, because I did have little lumps and bumps here just on like the purple color. I feel like the outline snagged in some areas and kind of went wobbly, and I think it would have been easier had I done that a bit differently and put a base coat down. So I'm gonna do that next time and we'll see if that helps. That one might be okay. I feel like matching the eyes is always the hardest. You know what? I feel like that's pretty even. I definitely will need to touch everything up a little bit, but it's not bad. Let's do the pupils. Well, should we do the other color first? No, let's do the pupils. These I just need like the little general area because I can go over and shape that up a little bit more with the blue that I'm gonna put on the eye. For the eyes, I'm gonna go ahead and use this, what is this called? Genie in a bottle. I feel like the eyes should probably be a little bit more purple, but I don't really want to mix any colors right now. I feel like I'm liking it just doing straight from the bottles. It's really easy that way. So I'm gonna just fill in the rest of the eye with the blue. Not looking too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and just clean up some of these lines and, you know, just do a couple little touch-ups here and there. And then I'm like, what do I even do on this one? And then we're gonna pretty much be done. We can top coat it. I feel like once we put a nice even top coat on, it's gonna really look really nice. I'm actually super happy with how it's looking. And then I'm gonna do a couple tiny little things on these nails. As you can tell, I did end up putting a nail on this one because it was driving me crazy not having one. But I put a heavy layer of jello on this. We can pop this one off and pop this one on. Here we are, touch-ups all done, and I love it. I think that one thing I want to add is just a tiny bit of sparkle to that jewel. I guess I could actually also add an actual jewel. That sounds like a better idea. Let me see if I have one that small. I'm not sure if I do. Okay, let's see if this will be too big. Is it? Not necessarily. I don't know why it didn't occur to me to use an actual jewel. Yeah, I'll do that. So first though, I obviously have a lot of different like layers, and I do have a couple kind of like bumps here and there. That's definitely going to be something I'm going to need to work on with my nail art. So instead of just doing a top coat or multiple layers of top coat, I'm actually going to put a base down to try to level that out even before I do that, because I really would love this to look like super smooth. And the base is definitely much thicker than the top coat, and it does look so much better, thankfully. Okay, wow, it looks so much better, doesn't it? Now let's finally put our top coat on. That is such a relief. I felt like it was starting to look a little crazy towards the end. Okay, so while that cures, let's do just a couple of cute little sparkles on, I would say like these nails, and then I think I'm gonna just put a couple of red rhinestones on these nails to kind of go with the jewel. Let's bring this out, maybe that'll make it a little easier. That's an alright one, I think. These types of stars are so hard for me. I'm just gonna do a couple. I feel like that'll just pull it all together. Then I'm dying to use one of these like super glittery silver or gold, so I think I'm gonna use this silver that's so icy to show you, like you can even see what's in there. So I'm gonna go over these stars in that silver-ish glitter. So pretty. It is so shiny. Okay, definitely love how that looks. Then I'm gonna get just a couple red rhinestones. And I think I was thinking I'm gonna do like a big row of them, but I don't even have a bunch of like big red rhinestones just because I don't normally do very much red. It's not like a color I'm gonna think to get more of whenever I buy things. So I'm gonna just have these two big ones just because, you know, we'll keep it a little simple since there's only that one jewel. And then we'll just top coat all of these. I can't wait to show you guys how this looks in the sun. It looks so crazy in the best way. It's like so intense. You wouldn't think the hollow would be that intense being underneath the color, but it is. I'm not going to replace this nail until the end because I don't want any chance of accidentally like getting some gel on it and ruining it and then accidentally curing it like I did this tiny little piece right here. So I'm gonna wait until we're done at the end so that way there's no risk. But here is, I just wanna show you my reference for what I'm going to do on this nail. This one's gonna be hard for sure. I'm gonna do this little fireball on another nail, but again, I have like my little layers and stuff of like what I'm gonna be doing. So hopefully this will help, we'll see. Also, I do feel like the base gel actually worked really well as a base, of course, as you know, the name implies. But for the nail art, I do think I will be using it over a top coat or a matte top coat in the future. Alrighty, let's get started. I am going to use white for my base because, you know, chicken is white. I feel like it's kind of hard because he kind of has a big head compared to his body. I felt like doing this side view would be good because I feel like it's going to be a little easier than trying to do like 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, you know, just all the stuff I struggle with. And I think putting the fireball on the next nail is going to be like a fun little touch. I wanted to incorporate the fire somehow anyway, so when I found this picture I thought it would be perfect. So I definitely would say that the white in here is probably my least favorite color I've been working with so far. I feel like it's a little bit sticky and the other ones are so smooth. It's a little bit of a difference. It's not huge. It still has pretty decent coverage, but I almost feel like that purple had more coverage. I don't know. It could be me with just the way I'm applying this right now. And then of course, cannot forget the beak. Okay, you know what? I feel like that's actually a decent outline. So aside from the white, the color palette is pretty limited. So I got out all that, NYX Splat and Creamsicle. I think it's gonna be just like a lot of outlining, which I think I'm gonna start doing because there's not really that much to color block. Most of the details are in the black. So for this, I'm gonna go through and outline everything, try to get all my ratios right and everything, and then I will go in and color everything in after. So kind of the opposite of what we did for Espeon. Maybe this will work better, maybe it won't. We're gonna just have to wait and find out. Hopefully it's fine. These ratios I feel like are gonna be really hard. So I wasn't really talking very much because I just wanted to focus because I felt like I was on a roll, and this is coming out so good actually. I feel like it's actually coming along, which I'm shocked about. I feel like the body kind of got lost a little bit from me, but the face and the head look really good so far. I feel like the base coat really made a huge difference in how I was actually able to smoothly apply everything. And hopefully this won't be too bad. I can always go over any places I accidentally cover, but I would prefer not to. Maybe I will anyway. I don't know. Will it look better that way? Probably. Because I don't want it to look like I missed any edges. I hate when that happens. Like it's colored all the way in except it's like sliver of a line against the black. All right, then for the yellow, I'm gonna go in with all that. Then we have that like cheek swirl, so I'm gonna start with Creamsicle. I wanna say Dreamsicle because that was like an energy drink flavor I was drinking for a while. There we go, go with that one, and then we can go in with the brighter orange. This is a really small swirl, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to do so many loops with it, but I'll try. So I do need to mix the blue that I'm going to use for the hair because it is pretty dark. It's like almost a black, but not entirely black. You can definitely tell it's still blue. Okay, that might be a little too dark still. That black is very dark. That's better. They do mix really easily also, which I am liking. I feel like it definitely needs that other arm. I feel like it looks a little weird. I put this on with Jello, of course, because we were going to replace it with this nail, and I went out tonight, and right as I got home, I smacked this nail off, and instead of re-gluing it back on, I'm just gonna put this one on now, so let's do that. So I've gone ahead and added an arm, and it turned out okay, and sort of just like touched up the black lines, and I am done with the chicken nail. I feel like it came out pretty good actually. So now I'm just adding my top coat, give it that nice finish, shiny look, and then one long final cure. Yay! So I am going to do the fire on this nail, but I'm gonna put this one on, that way I kind of like can know the position the fire needs to be. So I'll get that on there. Yay, I love it. I'm actually super happy with that, which you guys know is so rare. So now I just need to do the little fireball about there. All right, I'm just gonna make my little indication of where it should be. Perfect. This side is going to be a little harder because this is doing it with my opposite hand now. And that looks all right. So I have no idea if I've mentioned this before. I know I've meant to, so I don't know if I did the thing where you thought about it enough to the point where you thought you did it. You know, kind of like when you think you text someone back, but you actually didn't. You just like replied in your head. So I don't know if I did that or if I actually haven't told you guys, but I want to give just a couple tips for doing your opposite hand, because I know that when you do your own nails, that's one of the biggest struggles. When people ask me what my biggest advice for that is, of course, really, it's just practice. But I do want to mention just what I also do to help with that, you know, in addition to practice, is just in like my daily life, vacuuming, brushing my hair, brushing my teeth, you know, just doing random tasks. I try to do them with my opposite hand as well. And I feel like that really helps with like my dexterity in general. Because like the more you practice doing something, the easier it's going to get. So if you are able to practice just like doing things with your opposite hand, it should help in your nail art and just doing your nails in general, because it won't feel as awkward. And I'm going to fill in with the red now. Although I am going to try to outline with the red where I'm wanting to do the the yellow on the inside. And really with that, I'm just like following the shape of the fire, just like in a smaller version. Just make sure I have room for that yellow. I feel like since I've started doing that, just like in daily life, I think that it's helped my nail art a lot. Because while it's definitely not the same as my other hand, I feel like holding, you know, a nail art brush and doing whatever is a lot less awkward feeling, and I definitely have more control over what my hand is doing, and it's a lot easier to practice on things that are inconsequential, like vacuuming, stirring your pasta, you know, stuff that doesn't matter if you do it wobbly or whatever. So that is my advice. I don't really have much advice outside of that because there's not much that's going to help besides practice. And so instead of having to practice by doing like nail art and stuff like that with your other opposite hand, try just doing things in general with your opposite hand and see if that helps at all. Let me know if it does. Now for the yellow. I'm not sure if you guys could hear, but there is a crazy storm going on right now. And I'm just hoping that the power doesn't go out before I finish. I mean, I hope it doesn't go out at all, but if it's going to, I would really hope that I could do it after I finish these nails. So while I do the final black outline, I want to talk about these gels. Now, I initially thought going into this that they were going to be good, or at least like fine. I didn't think they were going to be bad. Honestly, I can't say that I like had zero guesses on like how good they would be, but I feel like they really did live up to the hype. They're super easy to work with and very pigmented. While they technically aren't gonna, you know, just like level up your nail art skill by itself, it certainly does make it easier to do nail art when you're not troubleshooting products. But having the right products certainly helps a lot in like the ease and how quickly you're able to do things, and you know, it can affect the outcome. I know a lot of the time I am feeling like I'm doing a lot of troubleshooting with either my gel not being opaque, there being lines, it not going on smoothly, it being sort of like stretchy and sticky, you know, whatever. And I feel like I didn't have any troubleshooting with these, which I really love. All right, we are all done. I absolutely love these nails. These are definitely one of my favorite sets of nails ever. Both the chicken and Espeon. I feel like they both came out so good and they look so clean, except this little spot right here. It chipped off because I accidentally cut into this side of the nail a little bit, and so I just kind of put something over to try to disguise that, but don't focus on that. I absolutely love the way the hollow looks. I'm gonna definitely be doing that more in the future because I just feel like it's such a good effect, and I love it on the background of like this like cartoon type style nail art. Absolutely love. I can't wait to show David these. As you guys could probably tell, it did take me a little while to complete these nails. So much so the nails are even growing out a little bit. How crazy, that never happens. The base has been on for a bit over a week, and I haven't shown David this one. I got his reaction whenever I showed him this one because he was bound to see it with it on my nail for a couple days. So I will put that along with his reaction on this one, but I've been telling him how excited I am about this one, but he hasn't seen it yet. So let's go show him. Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. You did a great job on that.
Thank you.
That looks amazing. Oh, wow. That looks so good. You did a great job on that.
Which one is that? It's not on there.
That looks exactly the same. Look at that. You did a really good job on these ones.